The Cold Encounter.
Vivify Studio Stories.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ready? Asked Fred. Yes, almost, Laura replied. There are only a few things to pack. It was the Richardson family's annual ski trip to Colorado. Every year, the Richardson family went on their annual family trip. This time, the family chose the pine-clad mountains of Colorado. Fred and Laura Richardson packed their minivan with ski gear, plenty of warm clothes for their two children, Ellie, 11, and Alex, 8, and of course, the essential hot chocolate and marshmallows. The kids are buzzing with excitement. Both Ellie and Alex were expert skiers for their age. It seemed that they learned to ski almost before they learned to walk. The idea of a holiday was as comfortable as it sounded. A week of skiing, snowmen, and cocoa. Everything is done, cried Laura. We are all ready to go. Hooray, the children screamed. The Richardson family had been looking forward to this trip for some time. The family carefully planned every detail for the trip. They booked plane tickets, packed suitcases, and even took ski lessons. They wrote a list of activities they wanted to do on the trip, which mainly included skiing, camping, hiking, and lobster hunting in the snowy Colorado Alps. Laura made sure she had everything packed. Traveling the day before the Richardson family was told to start their journey early the next morning, Fred checked the minivan one last time to make sure everything was packed properly. After the inspection, the Richardson family went to bed early because they had to go on a trip. The clock struck 7 o'clock in the morning, and the Richardson family woke up early in the morning and got ready. It was a 6-hour drive from the Colorado Alps. Laura made sure that the children were in thick and warm clothes because it was cold in the mountains. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the Richardson family left for the mountains. Driving closer, their excitement grew with every kilometer. The scenery was amazing, as it gradually changed from vast plains to towering trees, and finally to the breathtaking mountain range that awaited them. The air was fresh, and the majestic peaks seemed to touch the sky. The suburban home gradually disappeared from view on the way out, replaced by winding roads, towering trees, and picturesque landscapes. In the back seat of the minibus, the children floated between laughing and arguing, although the nostalgic music and childhood stories shared by Mom and Dad made the long ride much better. Fred was an adventurous type, a nature lover, and a hiker. Fred, the traveler, was excited to take on the challenge of exploring Gleaming Peak. Being a talented photographer, Laura failed to capture the beauty of the snowy landscape. The Richardson family was excited and worried. Driving along the winding roads, Richardson admired the wonderful scenery. Lush green trees were slowly replaced by tall, elegant evergreens, adorned with a soft layer of snow. As we climbed higher into the mountains, every member of the family was bubbling with excitement. The air became crisper, and the landscape became an enchanting winter wonderland. The family stopped at each amazing viewpoint and took a moment to admire the extraordinary view. The mountains stretch as far as their eyes can see, and the peaks disappear into the clouds. The family stood there completely grateful for this unforgettable experience and togetherness. During the trip, they engage in exciting activities such as skiing, snowboarding, and ice skating. Children build charming snowmen, each with a unique personality. Laura captured the glory of the landscape in our photos and captured those precious moments. The children marvel at the wonderful snow sculptures, laughter, and uninhabited joy as they work together on a magnificent masterpiece. A colossal snow bear that seemed to be alive in every beautiful detail. Fred was surprised and full of joy. Realizing the love and thoughtfulness that go into creating a surprise, Fred took a photo with the polar bear. Laura captured the wonderful memories of the trip with her camera. The kids screamed and cheered the whole way. Soon, it was evening. The weather was cold and chilly. Richardson minivan pulled up at the camp, which was at the foot of the hill. The camp echoed with the laughter and chatter of the campers in the camp. Fred had already ordered their minivan camp before the trip started. Small first, a spacious log cabin lay among the snowy Colorado commercials. Fred booked accommodation for a week. The Richardson family loaded their camp into the cabin where they planned to stay for a week-long hike. The cabin rests at the foot of majestic snowy mountains. Tall pine trees surrounded the cabin. The cabin looked straight out of a winter wonderland. The family immediately settled into their new home, away from home. Early the next morning, they set out to admire the wonderful views. The mountains blazed under the winter sun as fresh snowflakes fell lightly from the sky. Fred and Laura couldn't wait to discover what this winter paradise had to offer. After breakfast, they ventured to the slopes. Laughter filled the air there, as Richardson tried skiing and snowboarding for the first time. Fall were inevitable, but they continued their courage with the encouragement of others. Alex, the youngest of the family, was a natural on the slopes and zoomed down the hills with ease. As the day progressed, they took a break from their snow adventures to build a snowman. They carefully shaped its body with large snowballs and used branches for arms, and laughing they filled the fresh air with carrots for noses, coal for eyes, and colored thread scarf. Their snowman came to life, offering charming presents in the snow-covered landscape. Eager to experience even more thrills, the family decided to go tubing in the afternoon. They raced down on big inflatable tubes, their laughter echoing through the mountains. Ellie, the bravest of them all, accepted the challenge of the higher slope, cheering and shouting as she pleased. After a day full of adventures, Richardson returned to his cabin pink and full of memories. They cuddled by the fireplace and drank a cup of hot chocolate, and told stories of his daring exploits. The love they felt for each other permeates the room, making their family bond stronger than ever. As the days passed, the Richardson family explored more mountains, participated in snow wars, and made snowmen. At night, they observed the starry night, read the constellations, and wish for shooting stars. As another day passed with the sun setting behind the mountains, painting the sky with shades of pink and purple, Richardson tottered on the mountain, reminiscing about his life. Until now, they were grateful for the shared experiences, the laughter, and the beautiful winter wonderland they were the lucky explorers of. But even the Richardson family didn't know they were in for a big adventure. An exciting adventure awaited the family the next clear morning. Hikers gathered to climb the highest peak in Colorado. The hikers even invited a brave and resourceful climber named Sean. With his experienced and adventurous spirit, Sean explored every inch of the towering peaks surrounding the camp. The hikers admired him for his knowledge and breadth, and were eager to arrange for him to lead their mountain. They needed Sean's help to guide them through the treacherous path. Sean and the hikers enthusiastically and determinedly gathered all the necessary equipment, ropes, ice packs, and snowshoes. He knew that this journey would require everything of his expertise, but the enthusiasm of the hikers and camper was contagious. As the sun reaches its peak, Sean and the campers begin their climb. The scenery was lovely and the sky fresh. Passed through narrow mountainsides and crossed a complex snow-covered valley. Step by step, they ventured closer to their goal. However, nature had other plans that day. Unknown to the climbers, a huge pile of snow had accumulated on the high mountain. The weight of the snow became unbearable on the side of the mountain, causing an avalanche as Sean and the climbers neared the summit. A loud roar echoed through the mountains. The ground beneath them shook violently, and they didn't need to look back to realize the magnitude of the situation. His mind races with possible solutions. He shouted to the climbers and advised them to quickly take cover behind the strong rocks they saw. Before, the Richardson family was filled with fear, but their faith in Sean gave them courage. However, Sean had no idea what would give them a fighting chance. He noticed a narrow gap directly in front of the gap that stretched deep into the mountains. It was a risky choice, but he knew it was the only way to escape the destructive path of avalanches. Bravery in his eyes, Sean ordered the climbers to follow him. The second seemed like an eternity as they ran for safety, the roar of the avalanche getting closer every moment. They were seconds away from being engulfed by the merciless force of the flooding snow. Eventually, they all reached the gap, squeezing it into a narrow space. The avalanche fell upon them with tremendous force, sending a thunderous roar that echoed through the mountains within the rift. They ran together and clung to each other in the hope that this would be their salvation. Minutes passed, and it felt like a lifetime. Finally, the rumbling subsided, and the climbers climbed out of the crack without hesitation. Adrenaline was coursing through their veins. They couldn't believe their luck. Thanks to Sean's quick thinking, they survived nature's fury. The panic of the Richardson family has now dissipated. The climbers could still hear the sound of the avalanche fading. The climbers hugged each other and saw the terror of nature fighting back. Triggered by gratitude, the family credits their climber, Sean, with realizing how incredibly lucky they were to escape unscathed. From the day the Richardson family returned to their cozy cabin, they brought with them an unwavering appreciation for the power of nature. and few always chose to put safety first. Their family journey took an unexpected turn, but it also taught them the importance of courage, resilience, and the incredible human spirit that unites us in adversity. Hey there, beautiful bookworms. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your likings helps this channel a lot. Have a great good night's sleep. Our very first edition of comic book is available now. For buying, kindly contact us via our business page or business number.